Jake Worthington, thank you for coming on the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I don't know if I think I told you this in Charlotte when we met the first time, but this is actually the second time I'm gonna get to see you play here. The first time was when you opened for Hank Jr. in
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
Boy, howdy.
In 22, I think it might have been farther back than that.
Man,
it was a long time ago.
Wow. I thought this venue looked familiar. A lot of time's gone by. Well, that's awesome, man. Old Hank Jr.'s he's the shit, buddy.
What was that like opening for him?
I mean, just everything any teenage country music fan ever dreamed of, you know.
Is that the only date that you did with him, or did you do several?
We did a handful of them. I think we got to work with him about 6 times.
Really?
Something like that. It would have been that year. There was a step of dates that we got to work with him. And I think a few of them, even Justin Moore would have been on a few of those shows too, you know.
Really?
Yeah, you know, I mean, gosh, his band was so cool to us, you know. We were, gosh, shit, man, that was 4 years ago, you know. Kind of wild to think about that, but his band members, all them guys have been with him forever, you know. And that guitar player, Bart, he was cooler than hell. And they always took the kind of, if we ever wanted to ask questions or whatever, they were good to us. I think his tour manager one time at all them shows, eventually he was like, all right, Hank, he'll sign something for you today. Today's the day. So if you got anything to sign, you best get it to me by this time. And I think I got a belt signed by him, and our tour manager at the time got an old Remington hat, ball cap signed by him, and he was cool, man.
Well, I believe Willie Nelson does the same thing. Somebody, it might have been Charlie Crockett, was on tour with him or something, and you didn't get his words were, I believe it was him, don't nobody quote me on it, but he was like, you don't get a picture of Willie till Willie asks for it.
Right, yeah.
Is that kind of the same deal? Yeah, just the hierarchy of the road type deal.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's hard to, I think when I finally got to meet him, I called him Mr. Hank. You're like, oh gosh, you know. And I remember he was walking in, and the venue, I can't remember where it was, but you know, his band, the bus would show up, and he'd come flying in right there before the showtime in a Cadillac or something, and he got out, and there he was, and he walked in the venue, and me and all the guys were, you know, this would have been one of those times like, hey, if you want to get a picture with Hank, now's the time to do it.
Yep.
And I'm sure it's somewhere online, somewhere, but the venue had one of them big old checks, you know, that said sold out and stuff, and they were like, Hank Jr., you know, congratulations, you sold out tonight. And he said, again? You know, it was awesome.
It's crazy how long ago that was, and we talked a little bit in Charlotte about how long things have kind of come since you've been on The Voice, and even since then. I mean, The Voice was it 12 years ago, I believe, somewhere around there?
Yeah,
2014.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it's been crazy. Just since you opened for Hank, man, a lot's happened. I mean, you only had I remember Jonesin was out then, and I think you might have released your first record around that time too.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have much music out then, but man, you've put out a lot since then.
Yeah, I put out them 2 EPs, and I did, it just takes time. You know, I had, I just took my opportunities when they came.
So when you got on The Voice in 2014, you were still in high school, correct?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
What was the auditioning process like to get on that show? I mean, I'm sure there was one.
You know, at that time they had a handful of different ways you could do it, but you know, they were still doing the, you know, show up in person at the local stadium or arena or anything like that. And yeah, we went one day and waited in line all day, and there's thousands of people. And they have these casting companies that you know, hold up in these meeting rooms, and they bring 10 artists in at a time, and there'd be 3 casting judges, you know, people that work for the casting company. All them companies they contract work with a specific casting company, and then they go find all the talent, right? You bring them to the show, it was McNulty Casting, and just by happenstance, the day that I went in there, the room that I went in was the lady that run the whole deal. It was Michelle McNulty, and yeah, I sang. You get 10 seconds to sing, and they go to the next singer.
You went all the way to the finals, correct? Didn't you?
I did.
You did.
Yep.
In terms of recognition, I mean, social media was big then, but it's nowhere near the level that it is.
It wasn't what it is now, no. I mean, I remember we used to make fun of each other, you know, with your buddies in high school, if somebody had an Instagram account and shit like that. I mean, it was like that.
Find it and talk shit to them about it.
Yeah, you just make fun, like, what the hell are you on that shit for? You know? And anyways, obviously, times have changed. I remember when I was on that show, they had told me I needed to make like a Instagram and a Twitter, all that stuff. So, in high school, I had developed a nickname called Stuck a Lot.
Stuck a Lot?
Yeah, at the time that's what I had my internet name by, you know, and they had me change that.
Where'd that come from?
I just could get stuck on wet grass, buddies.
Stuck on a math problem or something too? Man, I should have got something like that.
That was good, buddy.
That's how I was. Hey, look, you talking to the man. I hate math. God.
That's good.
Stuck
on a math problem.
Stuck on something, man. But yeah, it's changed so much. Yeah, and to have that level of notoriety at such a young age, being 17, really still before the age of social media came along. But you said you were 17. What and still in high school? What was there any requirements for schooling while you were doing the show?
Yeah.
What was that?
It's the same kind of deal. You know, you have to sign up with this thing called SAG-AFTRA. It's like it's some kind of union for actors or people in TV and stuff. And not only that, then companies are required to, you know, if you are underage, you're required to, you know, do schooling. There was a lady named Miss Wendy, and my mama's name's Wendy. She was a really nice lady. She, you know, her and my act teachers are a big reason why I was able to graduate, you know, especially that year. Would have been my senior year. And, you know, I went to school all that time. It would have probably been a bad idea not to at least get my damn just GED and all that, or diploma stuff, you know. So I'm very grateful that I got to have them in my corner.
At least you wasn't one of those ones that like you know, they almost about to graduate college. They got 2 weeks left and quit. At least you didn't do that. Me and my mom were talking about that the other day, laughing. She said something. She said, if you went to college for that long, I really hope you would finish. No, like going for 4 years and graduating a couple weeks early.
Yeah, well, things changed. I never got that far.
Yeah, you know, I didn't either.
That stuff happened at such a young age in my life. When that was all over and I come back home, it's like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. And that's what I've been doing ever since, was chasing the country music dream, man.
So after The Voice, you went, how long did you go before you got your record contract? Because I know there was a gap there in between your voice and getting your record deal.
I signed my deal 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it would have been right during COVID or right after.
So that was a pretty good stretch of time between The Voice and getting your record deal.
Oh shit, yeah.
Like you said, it'll be close to 5 years.
5-6 years.
What
7, maybe.
Were you just playing?
29, I would have signed my deal 5 years ago. So
that's a stretch of time. What were you doing in the meantime? Playing wherever you could? Or
yes, sir.
Really?
Oh yeah.
In the Texas scene?
Yep. Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma. I mean, here's the interesting part of my journey, and everybody's journey is different. There's not one way to do it.
Yes, sir.
You know, but because of where I'm from, we definitely had the opportunity. There was the Texas scene, the music scene there was so vast, and you can make any kind of music there. And, you know, it's a really hard ticket sale to get people on board and stuff. But anyway, so I had that, and I had people that I met along the way that were very helpful to me. You know, I had a lot of opportunity to do a lot of messing up, a lot of learning. You know, and the under the radar, you know, part of my experience, I think, was the best thing for me because I never didn't want to make nothing but country music. And you know, I remember being on The Voice, wanting to sing Gary Stewart songs and stuff. You know, I sang a Keith Whitley song the first time, and that was a really big deal to me to get to sing a Keith Whitley song on TV. You know,
Don't Close Your Eyes, I believe, wasn't it?
yeah. And you know, I probably sing it a little different now than I did then. I was a kid, you know, but I've always wanted to make country music records. I wanted to make music that made me feel the way I felt whenever I heard them kind of records, you know. And that was always a fight to find. It wasn't as popular, you know, or it didn't seem as popular as it is now. And that's why right now I think it's just probably, I've not been more inspired ever than I am right now with the way things are going for all kinds of music. But what I was going to say was about that voice stuff was, you had asked me about where we would play, man. We'd play everywhere. You know, that TV stuff, you know, I may have not sold 100 tickets, you know, in Texas, but I could sell 15 tickets in Texas. I could sell 15 tickets in Maine. I could sell 15 tickets in Montana. You know, so we went a 99 Econoline van, and was in that for, you know, was in a van and trailer for 10 years.
Well, you mentioned
11 years.
Well, you mentioned the Texas scene. The Texas scene's blew up a lot too, along with more of the traditional country scene. But the Texas scene is also very tough to break out of. A lot of people struggle with that. I mean, I could sit here and name you 10 people that played all over Texas, just have struggled to really branch out of that. But
well, a guy can make a lot of money staying.
Oh, yes, sir, he can.
You know, a lot of people do this stuff because of money.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with having a home base either. I mean, you can go
or a home.
You know, yeah.
You know.
But you mentioned being able to sell everywhere. Is that what would you say is your key and ticket to be able to sell tickets everywhere, not just in Texas?
I don't know what the key is, man. I just think that that was just something that we always hung on to. It was like, you know what? We're not making no money, and you know, dang, you know, it was just one of those things that we always kept. It was like, you know what? We can sell 15 tickets everywhere. So that means there's country music fans everywhere.
Yes, sir.
You know, but a lot of that had to do with the exposure of the TV show.
Yes, sir.
So I thought, why, man, I want to play my music everywhere.
Yes, sir.
I play country music, and there's country everywhere.
Going back to The Voice for just a second, a lot of people that do those shows like that, they kind of get that stigma, and it's kind of sad to see, because like people, they say, oh, he's only here just because he was on that show. Did you ever experience that? And did having that gap between doing the show and getting your record deal, you think that kind of eliminated a lot of that?
Sure. I mean, you know, first impressions are everything.
Yes, sir.
Right? You know, I struggled with that for a long time. I felt like, I think that stigma thing is kind of, you know, I think people can read through the bullshit, and there's plenty of it out there.
Yes.
You know, whether it's somebody that got recognized from a TV singing competition, or, you know, from somebody who got famous on TikTok, got a record deal, and got on the radio. I believe people can read through bullshit, you know. So it's kind of like, sure, that exists, but also if this is what you do and this is who you are, then what the hell's the matter?
Yes, sir.
Do what you love.
Yes.
And I love doing country music.
Well, there's so many paths to get to it too. I mean, mention The Voice, TikTok.
Every trail's your own, man.
Yes, sir.
That's what I say to anybody out there. If you're worried about stuff like that, you know, quit worrying about it.
Yes, sir.
Just make great songs, sing your ass off, make great music, and love it.
So what was the when you signed your record deal, what was the first song that you released?
I think it would have been, I think the first release on me would have probably been that Jonesin thing.
Jonesin? With Jake Owen and Ronnie Dunn, I believe.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember when you played it here, because I knew that song and I knew the states you left me in.
Right.
And that's one of my favorite songs you got.
They might have released that one first too. That could have been the first song ever released. I just remember feeling like, hey, let's just drop the record. Because at that time, a lot of people were doing that and being discovered by the world. And it seemed like if your record caught fire like that, people, there were your opportunities turned pretty grand from there. So I don't recall pushing more than 2 or 3 songs throughout that record release before we put the album out.
Yes, sir.
But it would have been State or Jones, and yeah, that Hicks tape deal. Ernest, I tell you a funny story. Ernest wrote that, and so did Brian Kelly from Florida Georgia Line.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't know that. I didn't ever know.
I didn't either till now.
Wrote the song, and it was for that Hicks tape thing. I was sitting in a bar with Wyatt McCoven in Nashville. At the time, he was, I think, entertaining some just business options with people. He was taking a meeting, and we stopped and got a beer and a burger. And there, Brian Kelly walked in, and he come over to us and stuck his hand out to shake and said, "Thanks for cutting my song." And I thought, wow,
So he didn't have to do that. He was, Florida Georgia Line was hot shit at the time.
Yeah, and that ain't my kind of music neither. So I think that old Brian Kelly's a good dude. You can't deny them boys can write songs, and they can sing real good. So
yes, sir.
I was very, right then and there, I got to meet the guy, so I was like, all right.
That's awesome. One of my favorite songs you released around this time was The Next New Thing, I believe was the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Thank you.
That's one of my favorites. It that was on the first couple records.
That was on the first record.
It was on the first record?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. One of the earlier ones that you left. When you played it live in Charlotte a few months back, I was really wanting to hear that one. Cause
that's the thing, man. It's like we had songs that I've been writing. And at that time, them boys in the band, we didn't have no records to learn.
Yep.
I just had songs to play. And now there's a handful of them that I had some demo session done with James Mitchell playing guitar on it, and Gordon Moat would have been playing keys on some of that stuff. And gosh, I'm trying to remember all the different players. Larry Franklin would have been playing on some of that stuff, or Janae Flinner, and I got to go do some demo sessions. Me and Raj shacked up for a handful of time, a long time, and just wrote songs. So when I came in with that deal, I had cut a few demo sessions. So as we were on the road, the band would work some of those things up, but there wasn't anything to be married to, right?
Yes, sir.
So we had fun just playing these brand new songs nobody's ever heard, and see how they do, and play it like we're doing it, and so it's cool that you heard that and liked it.
I really like that song, and
we still play it.
When you played it in Charlotte, I was like, it's so good, because it was, like I said, it's one of my favorites. I believe that was your opener.
Still is.
It still is? That's awesome. Well, I'm going to take us off topic just for a second, because you brought up one of my questions, learning a song. And that's something you don't hear people talk about a lot. Because I'm sure some people in the crowd think, they record it and go out there and play it. How often do you practice with the band singing and playing these songs before you actually go record it and go take it out on the road to play it the first time during a live show?
For me, man, my experience was I've had to, you send guys songs and they show up to work, and you just kind of from there, you keep tweaking on it, keep working at it. There's some really great players out there that learned them records verbatim, and that works in every situation. Then there's some players that just like certain singers can't figure out how to sing the same thing twice, there's players that can't do the same thing twice, and they get inspired in the moment and they take off, want to go left or right, which I think there's room for creative liberties in a live setting, but
Yes, sir.
it can never not be the song.
Yes.
Don't play the song. Don't let the song play you.
Yes, sir.
And I think if you have a band with that mentality, then you're going to be in great shape. But like this group right now, man, we aside from today, I mean, I guarantee you right now, they sitting around the green room picking and grinning,
Mm-hmm.
And we're going through a bunch of band changes at this moment. I've been fortunate to get to play with guys for, I've always had at least 2 or 3 guys around that were with me for a lengthy time. And I like that kind of thing. And granted, I was one of these guys that didn't have the payroll up to scale like a lot of our peers. They had their money going on where they could pay guys very well. So when these guys come on with me, it's strictly passion. They started with me. We started together. So and you can't talk. It's kind of hard. You can't talk somebody into that. It just has to be something they want to do.
Love.
Yeah.
Love of it. And I saw your post on Instagram the other day. Congratulations. You mentioned moving up. Congratulations on getting your bus, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I saw that picture.
Stephen hooked us up, man. I'm just renting it, but I'm proud to get to be in it. I know all the guys are. It's a blessing. It's a life changer. It's a game changer.
Get you out of that van.
I don't have to drive anymore. Although I do want to get my CDL, and
I've got mine.
I want to drive one of these things. Well, it's king of the road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I would take us back to a second about learning a song and learning the lyrics. How do you learn lyrics to a new song? You write it down. You just got to just sing it with the guitar multiple times by yourself.
Yeah, I think so. I think, for me, it's good practice to go learn something you never tried learning.
Yep.
Or sing something you never tried singing. I think it's a great exercise. I think when you pick up a song you've always heard, you may not be playing it correct, but you can get the point across. That's also fun. But when you sit down and learn a song like the record, there's chords and choices they make musically that I think make a songwriter kind of person. Hank said it best, we're new note finders. One brand new chord or way of playing the G chord to me can open the door to a whole bunch of different ideas.
Yes, sir.
So that's pretty fun to do.
Well, I'm sure too, I know you have a hand in writing a lot of your songs, and I'm sure when you start at the very beginning and build that song up to the very end, when you finish the song and record it, you've kind of been there the whole time too. So I'm sure you got it in your head, like everything memorized too, just from writing it down and coming up with the song.
Well, man, I'm kind of, this is just the way I think. I think if some of these guys and gals that are out there are very prolific, they call it songwriting, not song remembering, so it's easy to forget things and stuff like that. But I find a lot of, like when I'm writing songs, I do enjoy writing it on paper. There's something about the way that my mom used to, when I would get in trouble, my mom would make me write shit down 100 times. I will not do this. I will not do this. And that just over and over. And I remembered it, But I also think that during the songwriting process, if you can't remember the words, you're probably not as into the song as you might need to be.
Yes.
But that works for me. I can't say that that's what's the word that they use? I can't say that that's a very applicable way of doing it. But
do you write on paper most of the time, or do you write on the computer when you're writing a song, or on your phone?
Paper or just voice memo.
Voice memo.
Yeah, I get in trouble. I forget to turn shit in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and thank God for my co-writers. Because they'll write that stuff down on a computer and stuff and send their emails in, and they kind of helped me out with that.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to bring us to your latest record you released last year, When I Write a Song. Man, there was killer tunes on that record, and that it seemed like it really brought you more onto the national stage in a way. Just so many good songs. Today, I told you in Charlotte, today I filmed my first podcast with Gavin Adcock. It Ain't the Whiskey came out.
Really?
That very day. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
It was in April. I can't remember the date. It might have been, it was like mid-April, I believe. It came out, but yeah, it came out that day. And the way you were promoting that song, I really liked, with the funny videos and like you looked like you were having a ball.
I was.
I mean, just my favorite was only DWI guys driving with intent. Take her home.
Yeah.
I was rolling the first time I saw it. How did that start? Because I really enjoyed those videos where you promoting it.
I just had my family out there with me, and we're a bunch of cut-ups, so, Colin, that was videoing that stuff, would ask a question, and we would have some kind of smart-ass answer or, remark, and like, oh, let's film that, that's funny.
You had a shit-eating grin on your face in the scenes where you
How could I
pull over in the truck.
I felt, it was, it's a great feeling to think we got a song that everybody, in the team loves, and that's a great feeling that ain't always that way. So it felt good to know we were cutting another music video and, having fun with a fun song. I mean, it really, that's what happened, but they, Tracker and Emily and the folks at the label, they're the ones that got all the people there, the old smoky car, the old Chrysler.
Yep.
An old pickup, and, found a place in Lebanon. They let us film that out in there in the pasture, it was just fun,
Was the song you did with Marty Stuart the one, was it on that record too?
Yeah.
It was? I really liked that song too. What was that like, getting to record a song with him?
Man, just a dream. I mean, he's the needle and the thread of the past and the present, and he loves it. He loves country music, and I do too. And he is just the best. He's the best. He's the best. To have him come and record with us, man, was, let alone to sit and write one with him. But him to come record and sing and play. He brought the Clarence guitar. He brought the Hank guitar.
So y'all recorded it together?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah. Well, shit, yeah.
That's all. A lot of times that don't happen. Like, they were recorded in two separate places. Yeah, that's awesome. Y'all got to do it together.
I know. I agree, man. I'm grateful that they let that happen or made that happen. Truly. And he was there, man. He did the music video with us. He came and, Marty's a really incredible photographer, and on real film and stuff like that. And he did us the honor of taking some pictures at that time in my life, and
If I'm not mistaken, he took the last picture of Johnny Cash at his farm. I was with Dylan Weldon, gave me a tour of his farm when we did our podcast.
Yeah.
And he showed me
that boy, man. Oh, Dylan's the man.
Oh, he's great, man. I talked to him 2 days ago, I believe.
Yeah.
Over text for a minute.
I love that guy.
He does a lot for country music too, man.
Yes, sir.
I mean, just on the level of Marty and just all these people. Really,
we all do.
sir.
The way that it works, man, is we all got to be a part of it. We're all spokes in the wheel, man, spreading that good news.
Yes, sir.
That's how it goes. We don't help each other by sitting on our asses, and not doing what we love, and that makes me proud. I'm proud of that. And then Tyler over at Dirt Road Country too, man, he loves country music. I think it's fun that we're getting to have this much fun doing this.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you about that song with Marty. I only got to write with him because of Jenna LeMaster, who's a great singer-songwriter. I've always joked and called her Miss Country Music. She loves country music and a singing fool. And she had signed with Sheltered Publishing, and that's where Marty's at, and Daryl Franklin runs that, and all them people that are signed over there, all them artists are people I revere and look up to. And anyways, Jenna got over there, the right came up, And, you know, my grandpa was a songwriter.
Yes, sir.
And stuff. And his only claim to fame, his only hit he had is somewhere in the 70s and the 80s, Dallas Cowboys had an old country song for their team song. It was called, it's called Dallas Cowboy Dreamer. It's on YouTube. He used to go by TJ Worth. But it sounds like Joe Stampley singing on it. It's him. There's a recitation in it. And he said, I said, Bubba? He was talking about my dad,
Yeah.
And that's the only recording that I can find of him. Anyways, all them years that he come to town, in and out of Nashville and being a part of the stuff, he never went to the Opry or the Ryman or nothing like that. And when I would go up there, that was our relationship. We just talked country music. That was what we talked about. It's what we loved.
But I believe you didn't you play his guitar when you played the Opry the first time?
Not the first time, but one of the last times I went there, I played his old Alvarez.
That's awesome.
Finally got to seal that deal, but we made a promise to each other that we wouldn't. I wouldn't go to the Opry or do the Ryman or anything like that. Until I got invited, and we'd go together, and so kind of just went with that. And anyways, that one ride with Marty and Jenna, at the end of that writing session, Marty started asking me about me, have you ever played the Ryman? Have you ever done this? Here we go. No, sir, I haven't. I'd love to. That day he got on the phone. I don't know who he called, but he invited me to do his jam at the Ryman that night. Or not that night, but whenever that was coming up. He does the midnight jam.
Yep.
Towards the end of the year or something like that.
Yep.
Wow. So did that. And that night he invited me to play the Opry.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. And my grandpa had just passed before
Really?
that officially happened. Damn. So he didn't. It's really it's such a wild thing. But it would all been that. It would all been that same time frame. It was like weeks apart.
Jeez. And so you didn't bring his guitar on stage the first time, or you didn't?
No, I played my guitar.
Did you? What was playing the Opry like the first time?
Buddy, I mean, fast. And it was fast and nerve-wracking. But it was amazing, man. I had my family, my wife, my parents, my brother. Roger was there, and Dina was there. I mean, these people that have been in my corner for years. I mean, man, I had people that were coming to shows when they were the only ones in the crowd. Like, I'm talking like bar rooms that there might be 5 people in them, and there are 2 of them or 3 of them for years. And when I didn't believe in myself, they believed in me. That was a win, not only for me, but that was a win for everybody that ever supported me or spent their money on me or time with me. Kept me chugging along. Junior would have been there, I mean, people flew out from wherever the hell. I mean, you gotta understand, these people don't have money to get on airplanes and buy hotel rooms in Nashville or shit like that. But they did it that night, boy. They wasn't gonna miss that. And it was the most packed I've ever seen that place out of the handful of times I've gotten to work it. It was special, man. It was a proud thing. It felt like, oh, here we go.
That had to be one of your goals, though, when you started to have a chance to play the Opry.
Fuck, it's the home of country music, man.
I still
that in the Houston rodeo, man.
Yep.
And the Pasadena rodeo, but that's a local boys' dream.
Have you played Red Rocks yet?
Mm-hmm.
Really? What was that like? Because that's a cool building.
I didn't even know it existed.
Really?
For real. I sound like an idiot. But, a lot of
I didn't know what it was till a few years ago.
Man, a lot of people, like I talked to, it's funny. It really is, because it's one of the greatest venues in the world, man. Like most revered places. And everybody from the Beatles to Nat King Cole to Ray Charles, I mean, these kind of people played there, and continue to. But I had no idea about it, Like I said, I wanted to play Green Hall. I wanted to play Billy Bob's. I wanted to play Pasadena Rodeo, Houston Rodeo, and the Grand Ole Opry. Both of them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Other than that, I didn't, I never thought about, man, I go play guitar where the Packers play. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's something George Strait or Kenny Chesney did out ahead.
Yes, sir.
Or Haggard and Willie and them did way back in the day, Anyways, we got our first chance to play that because of Laney Wilson.
Really?
Yep, we worked that show with Laney and Flat Lane Cavalry. And that was an exciting time, Cledo and all them boys.
Yeah.
That was a big night for everybody. We was all excited. And them cats have been at it just as long as I have, if not longer, And what a wonderful time. Those kind of shows. Laney, and the second time, the next round of shows we got to do there was with Zach. And both Laney and Zach were so great to us to let our families come and experience that. There wasn't no handcuffs on tickets or backstage access or nothing. They've all treated us like family, man.
Yes, sir.
I think that's important out here.
Yes, sir.
Because otherwise you wind up with none.
Yep.
But I digress with that. That place was special. My old redneck ass didn't know nothing about it.
Well, I'm ignorant on a lot of things. People laugh at me all the time, but I wanted to touch on that when I write a song for one more second, because you had another cool moment. I believe you posted it where the Dwayne Johnson was listening to Hello Shitty Day.
Yeah.
He did with Miranda Lambert. I thought that was cool. That's a funny song.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's like serious at the same time.
Well written, man. God, it's Dean, Jesse Fraser, Jesse Joe Dillon wrote on there. Miranda, she had sent me the demo to that, and it was Dean singing it, and for the hours I've listened to his demos and work tapes, just he is the greatest songwriter ever.
Yes, sir.
He defines multiple generations of country music,
Since the 70s and 80s, I believe. I think like Tennessee Whiskey might have been released in the 70s the first time when David Allan Coe did it. It was early 80s, 70s, around that time. He's been here for a long time, just released countless classics.
He's done all that stuff with Gary Stewart.
Yes, sir.
But when Miranda sent it to me, I remember playing it for my wife, and she's like, "If you don't cut that, you're a dumbass." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna cut that." But Miranda did these things on it, like what you would have heard in He Stopped Loving Her Today. I can't remember the young lady that sang on that session. It would have been, I think her name was like Millie or something along those lines. Anyways, I was like, man, I gotta have Miranda singing on this, So asked her if I cut the song. She said yes, and I said, "Well, you gonna sing it on there too?" And she said, "Hell yes." So, man, they've been, incredible to me. Otherwise, I would never. I feel like we get to stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes, sir. And it had a really cool old school feel to it, but it had a modern, I guess, twist to it. It reminded me of Hello Walls a little bit, also, because it kind of had that, I guess, Ray Price old school feel to it. It was a really cool record. Or that was a really cool song. But
you say it's a 6/8 waltz type of thing.
Really?
That's what I think. Yeah, I think that's what the musical term would have been for the feel of that song.
Well, you also did speaking of that, you did more of a swing, like a Texas swing style song with My Home's in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's so many good songs on that record. I mean, Two First Names is another one of that's probably my second favorite.
Really?
Yes, sir. Right behind
We all know one.
Yeah, it's so It's so good. And
That's Wyatt McCoven and Brett Tyler wrote that with.
like that whole record was cool. Not like I used to. So many good ones. What are your plans on releasing music in 2026?
We're supposed to go cut a couple more songs to add on to this past record, make a deluxe version of it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How many are you thinking about cutting?
Two or three. And then we're going to get started on cutting the next record.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Have you started writing songs for that yet, or?
It never stops.
Never stops.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think you're going to go in the studio?
I have no idea.
Really?
No, I really don't have a clue. I don't know when we're going to cut it. I would like to say this year. You know, I would like to think we're going to go get in the studio this year. And, you know, in the past, because of who I've gotten to make records with, I've been able to see the insides of so many, you know, special studios. And I'm so grateful for that. I've gotten to work with some the best musicians in the world, you know.
Yes, sir.
And I never want to stop getting to do that. But this next record, you know, and this is just me, man. I want to know that we recorded something at the same place in the same setting, you know. I'm looking for a word that is used, and I can't think of it, but and here I am calling myself a songwriter.
You're a songwriter.
It's just, that's not the most common way of cutting these days. They want to get it done. You know, there's just different ways to record, and the way I want to do it is whether we cut in Texas, whether we cut in Oklahoma, whether we cut in Muscle Shoals, whether we cut in I don't know, Switzerland or something. I want to go cut there. You know, I want to cut records, you know, in the same place, you know, from start to finish, and go to another place if we want to.
Try to do it all kind of in the same like time frame. Like, say, hey, I've got this time designated, I'm gonna stay in the studio till it's finished.
Correct.
Not a lot of people do that these days.
Some
people do, but it seems like they spend over time like a year working on.
Just cut them while they can.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of that is time.
Oh, I mean,
takes time, and people have very busy schedules, and it's hard to get a lot of people in the same place. But I tell you, there ain't nothing like recording with a band in the room.
Yes, sir. Well, you were talking about in Charlotte about how busy you were last year, and I know you took a little bit of time off. And when was your first show this year?
January 5th or 6th.
So you started early.
Yeah.
Or how long? Yeah. How many shows do you think you're going to play this year?
Who's counting?
I
don't know. I know that for the next 6 months, we're damn near every week, 3 a week.
I hear you. Well, we get
which is a blessing, you know, because
yeah,
sometimes them rock and roll guys, buddy, they're out there, they're playing, gosh, 8 or 9 shows in 2 weeks.
Yep.
You know,
some people struggle to get booked too. I mean,
damn right, yeah. It takes an army to get opportunities, and
yes, sir.
I did it a long time without anybody's help, and well, I guess that's not fair to say. I've had help all the way along the way. You don't get to pick what kind of help that is, you know, but it's help. You can't do it alone, and you know, I tell you one thing I've always had the willingness to do was to work.
Yes, sir.
You know, the being gone part is something I got acclimated to pretty early on, so you got to be able to do that.
Well, we talked about earlier about how long of a gap it was between doing The Voice and releasing your first record and getting your record deal to this latest record. What'd you do to stay motivated, man? Because I mean, that's 12 years of grinding. I mean, to really get to where we're at now with being on the bus and everything.
Man, I loved every minute of it. I mean, we get to go sing country songs for almost a living, you know, with the dream. Like, I never not believed that we couldn't do it. I never not believed that it wasn't going to happen. it was gonna happen because it happened every week, or every other week whenever we had our opportunities. But it's the people that you surround yourself with and the people that come along your journey that help motivate you, man. If it wasn't for some special people in my life along the way, I who knows what happened to me. It wouldn't have been good.
Yes, sir.
So
it was a long time getting here, and now we're seeing country music really make a comeback. Real country music.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we talked about it in Charlotte about how it's here to stay, and it's here.
It never left.
It never did. It was hidden a little bit. Sure, like some stuff people were trying, pushing all this other music out, had a really hard pop feel to it. A lot of it did, but now with Zach Top and you and just all these people are really starting to really push that traditional sound back. When did you start kind of seeing it turn a corner?
I think it's happened. I think for years you've heard people, in the beginning I always heard, oh, it don't ever happen. It ain't gonna work. You can't sell country music. You got to have it this way or this and that. Kids don't want to buy it. The girls don't like it and yada, yada, yada. I've always said bullshit.
Yep.
If my mama likes it, I like it.
I grew up listening to it.
But our junior's wife likes it, so surely there's another junior and wife out there that likes country music. I just always believed it. Maybe it sounds kind of elementary, to say it that way, but that was just the truth of it. I remember when Randall King put out his self-titled album, in terms of people in our class, meaning like just people that, when we all started doing it, the Randall King self-titled album to me was just a fantastic country record, and Mirror Mirror, that's if that ain't a country song, then
it's a banger.
I'll kiss your ass, you know what I mean? Songs like that made me want. I was like, all right, yeah, there it is. Come on, give me more of that. Josh Ward had cut some traditional country songs. Cody cut some traditional country songs. Kevin Denny was somebody that I've always heard and loved and admired. And never stopped getting that. Daryl Singletary, man. Yes, sir. I met him when I first started. I wasn't even legal to drink, but that never stopped me from doing it or being around it. But man, early shows, working with Daryl out around Houston and Louisiana and stuff. Man, he was super influential. Not just me, but the band too. It's like we seen a mighty 5-piece band. It was like, oh my God, it can happen. I never heard that in my face, and we were playing at a bar. Oh gosh, it ain't there no more in Houston. I want to say it was Massones,
north side of Houston.
Yeah, that's where it would have been. And he would have been, I think he heard us doing I Never Go Round Mirrors or something like that. Yeah, and he was like, all right. And I don't know, he'd call me up to sing a few. That was just like me. I mean, that was meeting your hero, and it was the coolest hero to meet. And
one of the best voices of all time.
Gosh, man, arguably the greatest singer we've had to date, in terms of just able to do it. He could do it, really do it. There wasn't no makeup on that, buddy. But to me, it was such a big deal to a young man to see one of your heroes in the same beer joint, in the same bar room, playing country music and not quitting.
He had a voice too that it carried till sadly he passed away, but his voice stayed the same throughout his entire.
It got better.
It did. He released a song not long before he passed away that was really good. It might have been out a few. Spilled Whiskey.
Yeah.
That was a later song that he did that was really good. And his cover of Old Violin is top notch.
Last song he ever sang.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Cowboys, Lafayette, Louisiana.
Really?
Yeah. We, in fact, I don't remember where we were coming from, but we were driving back to Houston It would have been a Saturday night or Sunday morning, real late early in the morning. And his bus, he had this whole, I guess it was a real tree rat bus. So you knew it was Daryl. Yeah. And they were making the trip back to Nashville that night. And it was that weekend that he passed. And, gosh, man, that shook the floor, man. That was a sad thing. It was way too young. But man, the time he gave a bunch of young guys meant the world.
It's cool now that with social media and everything and Spotify and all these listening platforms that he's really kind of come back into the spotlight a little bit and people are realizing how good he really was.
Oh yeah.
But he was.
Just timeless.
Okay, so you're on tour with Parker McCullen. Y'all got several dates lined up, and when we met, you were opening for John Party, and we talked about opening for Hank before that. What's it like getting to open for all these people and getting to play with Zach Top and getting to do all this cool stuff that you're doing now, man?
Man, it's great as it's ever been. I'm having just as much fun as I had sneaking in a Kyle Park show, or it's great as it's ever been. We're getting to get to play these places that we're in, get to play our kind of music in front of really big crowds. They're listening. They like it. They can't tell you that they don't love it no more. If that don't fire you up, damn son,
Yes, sir.
It's amazing. All these cats we're hitting the road with, they're all dogs, man.
Yes, sir.
And I like to think ain't none of it happening because of no foo-foo business bullshit. I want to say that I believe that there's a mutual respect between everybody and their musics and their dreams, and there's a desire that we all share.
Seems like it's happening organically too. Because people say what started it. I still think Chris Stapleton started it.
Yeah, man.
With Tennessee Whiskey, and it just with Laney and all these people that are really getting on the national stage. Cody Johnson, that are just
real people that doing real music, man. That's country to me.
Yes, sir.
With all your damn heart and soul.
Yes,
put it all in there. In terms of performance-based things, you got 2 minutes and 35 seconds to give it every damn bit you got.
Yes, sir.
For an hour, for 90 minutes, for 30 minutes, for 15. Hell, I don't care. Give it all you got. Mean it. Do it. Do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
it's so cool to see it coming back, because we talked about. I grew up loving it. My dad, I love Waylon. Waylon's my favorite. My dad and me always listened to it growing up. It's like you were saying. It was just hidden a little bit. There's people like me and you everywhere that love George Jones and Merle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they were pushing all this other stuff out, but now Johnny Cash always said it comes back to its roots.
Yeah.
Country music does, and
and it's done it time and time again.
Yes, sir.
The one thing that I'm grateful for about even throughout all maybe the production changes and the musical changes and choices, and man, at the end of the day, the undefeated thing about country music is the song.
Yes, sir.
The song wins every time. If you got fiddles and steel and piano all over a shitty song,
yep.
I don't know what it. I know what. I don't know what's like Parked Out by the Lake. You ever heard that? That's a shitty song.
Yep.
That's a shitty song, right? But it's shitty on purpose.
Yep.
There's some other things out there that I would imagine people can, would argue is good or bad, but we don't get to pick that, sir. You got to do what you believe, and guess what? The country music listener tells you what they want to like.
Yes, sir.
And that's what, if I get too wrapped up into thinking, what's better or competitive bullshit, I don't care about that, all that, you got to do what you love. You got to believe it. And in the words of a hero of mine, do what you love and fuck the outcome.
There you go. I love it. I got one last question. I know you like to hunt a little bit.
Yeah,
I do too. Did you get a chance to hunt any this year?
No.
Oh, you
I went duck hunting.
Oh, you did?
I did a little duck hunting, yes sir, in December.
Did you have any luck?
I had a few times.
Cool.
Yeah, there's birds everywhere. Don't mean I hit them all,
Oh, hey, people say what they want. I've never limited out duck hunting to this day. Never had that good of a chance.
Buddy, man, hunting and fishing and all that's about the people you go with.
Yes,
and you know, I was pretty ate up with it. I got married and all that kind of came to a halt.
Yep.
And that happens. But you know, it was like, dang, you get married and you know, you start focusing on some things you want in life, and some of that stuff takes the back seat. But I just think it's important for a guy or a gal to get out in the woods and do that, because it's just healing. You know, it's a good thing to do.
Yes, sir. Well, I want to, hey, brother, thank you so much for the time today. This was a pleasure. I got to tell this story why everybody's here, because you can't make this up. So I want y'all to know this man right here is the real deal, and I'm about to tell you when the show in Charlotte where we met at, I knew Jake was going to be there, and I was super excited to meet you. But to do the podcast with Colby, I was super excited. When I saw you were there, I was like, man, I'd get a chance to meet him. This is going to be awesome. When walking up, I was like, man, I wonder where he's at. He's probably in the green room or something. But I'm walking up the steps, and here you come out on the steps. You had a zip up fishing shirt on that's white. You had khaki camo shorts on with like running shoes on, I believe Nikes. Cowboy hat on and the guitar over your shoulder. I walked up, I was like, there he is. This the best entrance of all time. Seeing you like, I was like, this dude is the real deal. You can't make this up.
Well,
it was awesome.
Well,
that was a heck of a first impression.
Good thing you didn't meet me being Elvis, you know.
Jumpsuit. That's what you need to do one day.
Well, we did. I did it with, we did it at Halloween.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. We didn't tell them what was going to happen. Oh, yeah. We were Fat Elvis and the cause of death. I think we had we had Mike Tuck was the toilet, and Adam Goodell was the banana. Jim Bob and Jace, who played drums and bass guitar, were the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And guess who was Fat Elvis? This guy.
Hey there, baby.
Oh, buddy. There's Zach and them, boy, they yell out. Oh, it was hilarious. It was fun. I'll never do it again, but it was fun.
Oh,
it'd be amazing how many people I've ran into that were at that show that just took the time to tell me, I've really loved you as Elvis. I'm like, thanks, man.
Oh, you got to do it again this year, yeah.
I'm sure we'll think of something crazy.
That's awesome, brother. Hey, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate you. Thank you for what you're doing for country music, helping bringing it back, man. This was so cool. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. As always, this was the first show of 2026. I appreciate all of you. Hey, over and out.
That's it.
Hey, thank you, brother.
You got it all.